Here we are once again with the Shabazz report. I'm here in Osage, West Virginia, grassroots community media. You know that's what we do. But we got my man Dwayne Anderson, old school. Dwayne Anderson, he can speak for himself. Okay, you on camera? This is the spot right here. What's it called, bruh?
Greater Love Fashion.
Greater Love Fashion, right here in Osage, West Virginia. We do black business even out here in the Dub V. You're here next to his father, Al's Shoe Repair. I done been out here before, so this is like home for me. It's been a while since I've been out here though. Osage, West Virginia. We'll get a chance to talk a little bit about Osage. Okay, let's see what you got, bro. Let's get in. You want to take us inside? You ain't gonna take us inside?
Nah, we
okay, so we're gonna do it from now.
We gonna be out his son, though.
Okay, let's.
Do that, bro, Shabazz?
Okay, we can keep.
We go to this field down here on the side of his house.
Okay. Let's keep rolling. Osage, West Virginia. Yeah. I gotta make this interesting for my subscribers, bro. Okay. Grassroots community media. Now I used to DJ back out here in Osage in the 2005. Down here at this joint here.
Which one? Just the first one or
the one over here on the right, the one that burned down. I used to DJ for old girl. Remember her name?
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane. Yeah. She's still around.
Yeah, she still live right now.
I might be able to get another gig. Where you taking me, bro?
Oh shit!
You supposed to know where we going, bro?
Hey, Lindsay, and we gonna have to come in that space for a minute.
You want to make sure she don't get on camera. Because she already asked don't be on camera. Yeah. I tell people up front with the Shabazz report, I shoot the edit, and in 24 hours, we'll be broadcasting. You'll be able to see yourself. Okay?
Yeah, man, this is the area here, you know, what folks really got to start understanding this day and time is that in the 30s, Osage, West Virginia was segregated. Blacks, whites, Romanians, they had all kind of immigrants, you know, coming in. Everybody walking down the street together. But as soon as you leave Osage and go to Morgantown, blacks was on this side.
Different world.
Whites on this side.
Right.
Water fountains for blacks, water fountains for whites.
We're going to get an opportunity to talk about the hidden coal camp history of West Virginia, because if you talk about Osage, you got to talk about the invisible coal camp history of blacks in West Virginia, where we came to the state to work the coal mines.
You can stay on that side over there. Here, hey, matter of fact, you know what?
I'm going to keep her off camera.
I'm sorry, no, get back right there. I'm sorry. Here, I can take this chair over here. Give me, hey, Lindsay, Shabazz, get a chair, Shabazz.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go right here. Lindsay, you go right there.
I can snatch this chair right here.
Yeah, go right there.
You want me to grab it?
I got it.
Yeah, right
I'm gonna keep her off camera because she asked not to be on camera.
That's
all right.
If I weren't out there, it's okay, but I'm about.
It's all good because I got the audio going.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's finish up. My man, Dwayne Anderson.
Yes, sir.
You're here in Osage, and again, we're gonna show you a shot again of his business. Now, when was the last time you was up and you was up and functioning? I see you got a sign over there that said due to COVID you shut down.
When our county got in the orange and then went to the red, and we were waiting to see if school was going to start. And once they start figuring out the school was going to start, and I said, man, if we're in the red, then shouldn't no business in Monongalia County be open and operate?
Right. So the numbers has changed. You watching the numbers within the county determine whether or not you're gonna open your business.
Yes, sir. Because I'm not trying to be infected with the COVID, and we already got a case that was already active here in Osage, but they've already quarantined and got well and came through it. You know what I'm saying? It's over. But you know, we're not trying to spread it. We're trying to stop it because it's affecting our neighborhood as far as the statistics. What I see more than anyone. So.
Right. And that's a whole nother topic for us to go off on the impact of COVID-19 and the impact that it has on our communities. I had an interview scheduled today with Danielle Walker, and I'm not sure, that was not one of the questions that I was necessarily going to ask her, but it could have came up, okay, in terms of her involvement. You know her, Romelia Parks Hodges, and Tiffany Walker all were able to set up that African American COVID-19 task force, which I'm for that because the work that she did on that, if she hadn't have done it, it might not have got done. You know, I mean, there's some specific details to that where I think the pastors, the preachers may have sat on information that they didn't need to sit on. They needed to get out and make sure that people was taken care of in that situation that happened over there at the church in Everettsville, which is another black coal mining camp. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't say so much as a preacher set on information, because just as the whole world, you know what I'm saying, is new to the COVID-19. We've been
they underestimated the situation. Let's say it like that.
Yes.
That's okay.
And then when it did, what they didn't know was, and everybody should have been quarantined from the beginning. As soon as they found out that one had it from the church, all of them should have been quarantined.
They should have gotten contact. Now see, I just got to keep it real. As a reporter, investigator, researcher, the information that I got on that, we being clear on it, and this happened in March, okay? And I got an interest in it because people that are close to me was there at that church. But as far as I'm concerned, that should have been handled once it was determined that people were sick. I think it was underestimated, okay?
Yes.
But that information that was out there about COVID-19, because it had already hit in New York, people in West Virginia were just not taking it serious. They had underestimated. So I think she should have really called that off. She shouldn't have really even had that out there.
I could say,
in my own personal view.
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
I definitely could say you could probably right. Most likely are right.
Okay.
But my only defense for West Virginia, period, is if I'm not mistaken, we were the last state to have it.
That's true.
And
that's
so
very true.
So that's why I say anything really that happened with us, we've seen stuff happening and sometimes you don't believe things until it hit right there. You know what I'm saying?
That's true,
home, man. And there's another thing that I don't think really. In place, I want to say, man, you know what I'm saying? To Miss Parks, I heard you on her daughter. You know what I'm saying? Condolences and my love to you know what I'm saying. Not just Miss Parks, but all of our heroes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Play all the, you know what I'm saying?
Worked with welfare rights back
me,
in the day.
Believe me, Greater Love has a monument that's going to be going up in Fremont, West Virginia, and it's going to definitely, you know what I'm saying, have all the names on it. So, Brother Shabazz, no, I was just saying.
No. Let me to be clear.
Okay.
This is a continuation of the type of ministry that you feel that is your calling down deep inside. I've been knowing you for a few decades, and I know that you've had to overcome opposition. You've had to overcome negativity in your life, like most of us, me included. Okay. So Miss Parks, you mentioned her name. One of the reasons why, and I was there at her funeral, and her and I worked closely with each other all the way up until her final days. We love that sister. She was our grassroots elder, okay? But as far as you're concerned, I want to be able to give you, we at the Shabazz Report want to give you an opportunity to share your history, your story, whenever you get ready. We see what you're doing now in terms of black business, and that's why we checked with you, okay? When you get ready to tell us the rest of your story, you can, okay? Because you have a platform here.
All right, okay. and I appreciate it. And while we were just on COVID-19, I just really want to say that, man, I don't know if people know that, the first death of COVID-19 was an African-American lady. All the newspapers kept saying was a black, elderly black a lady from Marion County. But, we all, know and love Miss Vi.
Right.
This wasn't. She's the first African-American to pass in the state of West Virginia from COVID-19.
Right.
So, if our neighborhood, no matter what you say, what you think, that's why the GLOL, it's coming, later. It's called GLOW. You'll hear about that, but it's things that got to be done in all our neighborhoods.
Throughout the, you talking about statewide in West Virginia?
It's from West Virginia, but West Virginia is the least because the population is so little. So we need it, definitely everywhere needs it, but there's a greater need, in other places. But because we choose to start here in West Virginia, where we got 3.8% African American,
right?
The ratio.
We can talk about that. I talked to someone recently about those numbers, those statistics. I told attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz when they came through. When we worked on the Megan Williams case back in 2007, Generally, black people in the conscious movement and the black nationalist movement look at West Virginia as like, them brothers and sisters got to get the hell out of there. Because they look at things as being against all odds and for us, right? You know, that we don't have no representation in the legislature. Just everything's against us. However, I had to let him know that we have a rich black history here in West Virginia that is obscured. And that's part of my interview with you here today in Osage. Because Osage is really part of the rich black history that is obscured. All these black coal camps, Everettsville was another one. Name them off. Barracksville, out there where Miss Amy was at, Chesapeake.
Can't begin, because you know why I wouldn't begin to name? I just heard my dad and them talking about that there was 120 something or 140 something mines just in this Scotch Run area.
Right.
Said, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? All the, you know. So it's just hard to name all. Then you got to thought. This is just Osage,
right?
Or Scotch Run.
Scotch Run, yes.
This is just out here through Scotch Run. So you got to remember, like you was talking about Berrysville. It's so many other places that we don't even know the names of.
Some of them are gone. For instance, my grandfather, Mr. Mormon, they was all out in the area known as Dakota. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's going toward Reedsville. If you go through there now and look over there, you don't even know that even existed. That area called Dakota, where the black coal miners had developed coal camps in these areas. Your family know about it. I'm quite sure that.
Well, I got to be my granddad.
Yeah,
coal miners.
Yeah, they know about Dakota.
Most definitely, yes.
So,
but and also, Shabazz, I got another project coming up. You know that's going to be coming up, and it's going to be a little short series, and that's what it's called. I didn't know we had Negroes. You know what I'm saying, in West Virginia.
You didn't know we had Negroes in West Virginia?
That's the name of the segment.
And look, I'm going to do like Mr. Spock would say. Explain.
Well, as you already explained to folks, that people always want to talk about, ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no black down there, ain't no. And I don't really like to use the word black and white. You already know why I speak on that.
Okay, so we running into clear definitions.
Okay, I'm sorry.
For clarity.
Okay.
Generally when you say Negro, I'm thinking of someone that doesn't have a knowledge of self, doesn't know who they are, and they are operating up under a European-centered perspective, knowingly or unknowingly.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I speak the word Negro, I'm talking about a African American from the earliest centuries as we can, you know what I'm saying, go back. And I speak of a Negro as that. I really be called Negro than black. Okay. Me personally, that's Dwayne.
Okay. Now I do now listen. I want to be straight up with you. I'm an Afrocentric, and I deal with the Moors too, and they have an issue with the word black. Really, for real, we had to take black and redefine it, since we're talking about definitions. Okay, I respect your view, and I respect my own view on this. Okay, because I know that some people see it like I do, and some people might see it like you do. Okay, with the word black, it is clear that most of the definitions for it under the European language are negative. Okay, so with the word black, we had to redefine it. And when we look at black as an African-centered person, as a black conscious person, we look at black in terms of melanin. It gives us superior quality. It is the melanin substance that's cosmic inside of us that gives us our soul and divine qualities. But we had to take the word black out of the limited construct of European definitions, because black and white made us negative and inferior. White made them good and pure and closer. But really, for real, in the African-centered perspective, it's the flip. Your black skin gives you superpower. You can absorb rays from the sun. You got melanin. Okay, you tap into that knowledge and information and make it work for you. Those that lack melanin are melanin deprived, and that's why they can do some of the wickedness that they can do. But just because we got melanin, it has to be functional melanin. And it takes us eating and living and thinking a certain type of way in order for us to manifest it in the highest terms.
Melanin, but melanin is just melanin, period. So it's gonna function regardless.
Well,
if we allow the function of
certain things
on its own. But anyway,
there's certain things you can do. If you become addicted, you can corrupt your melanin. Like addicted people that have high levels of melanin, they stay addicted longer. theoretically. Okay, let's go on.
Let me, Brother Shabazz, because I was just for clarification, because you said we have to change and define a black as for the Afrocentric perspective.
We redefined it.
Who is the we?
We would be those of us that took on the Afrocentric perspective. I jumped on board with this, and it's a good question to ask. I jumped on board with this back in 1984 when the early Afrocentrics like Asa Hilliard, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing in her book, The ISIS Papers, all the black African, Dr. Leonard Jeffries. He was foremost at that particular time because he was a professor up at City College in New York. And he had put forth the sun people theory based on melanin, that the sun gave us energy and divine characteristics associated with the sun that connected us to the ancient Kemetic Nile Valley people, where you see the ancient Egyptians out in the sun absorbing. He said that we were a cosmic people and we were more than human beings. He gave us a clear history. And see, we hadn't had a clear history. Listen to this. Those of us that went to school in European-centered schools, me being one of them, we hadn't had a clear history of being that would make us feel good about being black, African, or anything associated with who we really were. Dr. Leonard Jeffries and them in the Afrocentric movement, all the black scholars had enough. They started their own educational system dealing with Afrocentric learning in the mid-'80s.
So now, Brother Shabazz, I know you grew up with me. And you know what I'm saying? And you was in the same hoods as I were.
Partially. Partially. We grew up together.
We was in the same hoods as I were. Ain't no hoods around that you was in that I wasn't in.
Okay, go ahead.
This area.
Right.
So wherever, I don't know about Pennsylvania, anybody else. I'm talking about West Virginia.
Yeah, I had some of Pennsylvania's culture too.
I'm hearing you say though that you know what I'm saying, like we didn't have a respect for ourselves or you know, because you saying how they defined it and gave us, you know, this, but I think as grown up, this is why I say when you grew up in Fremont, West Virginia, you were different from anywhere else growing up. But I think we did have a pretty good respect for ourselves. I think I didn't even know that there was that African Americans were slaves to our same roots. Because the way we ran up, we always controlled and dominated our neighborhood. That's why I want to take you wherever you go in West Virginia. Any of the hoods, it always dominated, no matter what side of the bridge. We on the west side, but we dominate the west and the east.
I didn't get a chance to get to that point, okay? And it's clear for me that I was born in Fairmont, but I did see, because the fact that the Jackson, my mother and her sister, they all come out the Jackson Addition community. That community was a strong black community.
And then let's get this clarified this while we're on the record. Can we do that, please?
Let's go.
So everybody can understand, because there's a movement that's out there people don't know about, people that you don't even know they're in it. You know what I'm saying right now? They don't even know they're in it. But anyway, there is the original Jackson Addition, you know what I'm saying? And then there is what they call the extended Jackson Addition. Now, I don't know how many people know that, but your mom lives in Jackson Addition right now.
Okay.
And what street does she live on?
She stay on Chestnut.
Chestnut Street, because
but she come up out there on, her father built a house out there on Hobart Avenue.
In the original Jackson Addition.
So you saying Jackson Addition extends further than what? I like that. Mike Mead said the same thing.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Let's say why.
Go ahead.
Because this might be something that some of y'all viewers.
You're gonna put it on the record.
I'm gonna put it on the record. When the partnership, and this is, and I want to point this out, because people look at me like something's wrong with me when I look at them a certain way and I just speak. You know what I'm saying? In my head, but I got a lot of respect and love for certain church folk that I knew grew up in the church. You know what I'm saying? And I watched them, you know what I'm saying, in our neighborhoods in positions. And this is all I'm gonna tell you is, when the partnership came in and gonna build the first 75 houses downtown on record, they had to go in Jackson Addition. So after they got the contract and they start building the houses, they began a plan to rezone Jackson Addition past Baltimore Street all the way up to Monroe Street. all the way up to the street where you're ready to turn.
Call all of that Jackson Addition.
Chestnut, all the way up there. It's Jackson Addition now.
Did they
All the
get
way
it?
from
Did they
it's
complete
there.
it?
It's on the record.
It's on. So now Jackson Addition, the new Jackson Addition goes over all the way to Monroe Street, going up the hill.
And guess what? The original Jackson Addition never received its first 75 houses, nor do it have 75 now.
I hear you, baby boy.
Yeah, but anyway, I just want that to be on
well,
record.
well, you just dropped some information that need to be put on the record.
When you say Jackson Addition, I want folks to understand. That's why people don't understand what Fremont.
Now that partnership, now hold on, since we're talking.
Yes, sir.
That partnership is no longer in existence, right? That initially, is that still functional? Yes or no?
Partnership is still in function, as far as I know. Yes,
See,
sir.
okay, I just had
Yes,
to
sir.
because.
Now, how are you going to think of? How you going to think?
But
of
the
business?
number of blacks that are on it now
How
is
you-
not like they. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. You know I don't like that. I'm sorry.
The number of blacks on the current partnership is not like it was at one time. Because I dealt with the partnership back in the mid '90s, I think, and it was all black except for the head was run by a guy named Jerry Lewis or somebody named Lewis. He was over top of it. But
I'm sorry.
has it changed? Has it?
I
You don't
haven't-
know.
I don't know about
Okay.
the Jackson Addition committee who was at. All I know was the Negroes that they used to get off what they wanted. Yeah, they don't need them no more. Some of them are even moving out. Some want to move out, but then and been worked all their life, retired, and still can't move out. But my whole point of it is that we got people out there, you know what I'm saying, that have allowed something to happen. You know how sacred the ground is from Baltimore Street all the way to the Monongalia River. That's the most sacred ground out in Marion County. It's the most sacred ground.
So you're saying there's something specific about that area?
Yes, it's always been. Now they built a whole row of townhouses in a spot. They told us we couldn't get a swimming pool because the mining and the undergrounding, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't hold, you know what I'm saying, no structure.
Now
They built a whole new complex.
I haven't got a chance to. Colin Jones was telling me that I haven't got a chance to go out there and inspect the new houses that they built out at Windmill Park, right in the back of Windmill, right?
Yes.
Is that where?
Yes,
I haven't seen that stuff. You've been out there?
Yes,
Has
I've
any
been
black
out
people got those homes yet?
Yes,
Any of those?
yes.
You know some of those black people that have received those homes? I got to go out there and investigate and inspect that, man.
Yes, sir.
So they got to give us a fair one in them homes out there around Windmill Park. Really, that should be most of us, if not all of us.
Well, back to our work. Hey, King, come on.
Okay.
Back to our work, the partnership. And you say, are they around? No matter what name they are going under, why would any government institution close down that comes in and deceives people of their property and livelihood?
Right.
So why would they ever go out of existence? There's no way in the world they would ever go out of existence. They doing something that everybody want to do. You know what I'm saying? To take. Wow.
I questioned the partnership a long time ago, okay, in terms of what it was doing. But it's hard to question something at the same time ask for a job and ask for.
I feel you.
And I found with a lot of times in the grassroots local level, we find ourselves in a position of doing that. If we're not doing it, we see other people in the neighborhood doing it, right? Now, once I found out that I wasn't going to get no job, I said to myself, okay, it's enough information to try to push that we get our fair share, okay? Because at one time, I too was also looking for a job. And said, okay, and at some point, I used to work for the television station. You know that, right? At some point, once I was already designed a certain type of way, but once I figured out that I wasn't going to get no more training from them or no more favoritism or no more whatever from the establishment, meaning during the period of time where I worked for the television station, I said, well, I might as well take whatever training I got from them and try to get something for myself and do things the way I want to do it. So you have that happen. I see you doing that here with your business, okay? You know, you can run with your business. You can run it the way you want to run it for the most part.
Yes.
Now let's get to your business, okay? When you were able to combine with your pops, or did you have to go ahead on and file something separately?
No, I licensed. That's licensed under Greater Love.
The ministry got the tax exempt status, right? Or you?
Well, the ministry, but This is profitable though. This is, you know what I'm saying, this got his own separate license.
This is the LLC.
No, Greater Love Fashion is just one of the entities that's ran under Greater Love Ministries. But this is profitable though. Greater Love Ministries is non-profit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's a non-profit. This is for profit. Yeah.
For profit, right?
Yeah.
So you can.
I need 100 more of these any type of little businesses. To
Okay.
really make the profit that that I like to make.
Okay. So what now? What kind of products you got up in there? Let's get to you.
Products?
Yeah. I see them from the outside. You got women's fashion, garments, apparel, right?
Yeah. It's like 98% of women apparel. Well, the reason that is because the men vendor, the men's vendor that I had is the fashion and the price and profit range is not what I want, because I don't want, like, nothing in that store costs over $20.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Most dresses is from anywhere from this is new dresses now. Used dresses you might get for $2 or $3. Most dresses is from like $5 all the way to from $5 up to 20. So I don't want to sell nothing expensive. We got pocketbooks, brand new $20, $18. The blouses, I Can't Breathe shirts, the Stiller designer shirts.
I like that skirt. I like that African centered skirt you got up in there.
Yes, sir. So
sisters buy that, right? I would like to have. I had a woman that was interested in me. I'd like to see her in something like that. That's a nice little joint.
Yeah. So we're gonna get off the ground. I ain't advertised and done all that I want to do yet because it's not completed. See, my painting, my sign ain't up yet. So I ain't done my advertisement. But I'm just beyond Shabazz. This has been a good. They took what I'm saying, so much of my life away, and then they validated me and let me back out in 19. You know what I'm saying?
You just enjoying life in many ways. You still.
Yeah, and I just love living now, living free, and first time ever. And I'm not involved. You know what I'm saying, in illegal activities, and my first time. You know what I'm saying, long time, and I'm proud to say that.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
well, you see,
I'm proud to say that.
I gave you a platform. You saying it on the record.
Bad pussy, bro.
It is bad.
What's
up, homie? I see both of y'all. I got a video going. Hold on.
I get about $2.
We doing an interview.
We're doing an interview. I got him on camera. Okay. What's up, homie? I ain't seen you in a long time.
Was for the camera. That was my son. He wanted to get his discounts on his oils and his thing, cause he said, "Brother Shabazz don't come see him enough." He said, "You know what I'm saying, brother? He ain't selling oil no more. He making films now, documentaries."
Yeah, we doing. I was supposed. Like I tell him, I was supposed to interview Danielle today. So
hey, can they just see my son? Can I just
want to see him here?
My son?
Here's Soldier.
That's my son.
Not to
That's
judge them,
Yes, he lied. Here go my nephew, Dwayne.
He got him on.
Dwayne don't mind get on camera. He would get all that daggone red off.
Old school.
Yeah.
He old school now. Yeah. Used to be he wasn't old school. He old school.
Yeah, when we used to be up there going.
You know what I mean?
Vibing and never met her. But Brother Shabazz, man, I appreciate you giving me this platform. I wasn't ready for it. Listen, folks, this outfit I had on yesterday, he just came. I wasn't even, dressed. So I just threw it back on and sat down, talked to my brother. I ain't, I ain't done my hair or
you all right, bro.
None of that. But
you all right.
But ladies out there, it's a blessing and definitely the gear that you get here, the quality that you get, it's definitely a blessing. And that's what I got it for, our people, our neighborhood. I ain't trying to make none. If I make $30 a day, then I can pay the bills, keep the lights on, and keep and just $30 a day. I ain't,
bruh.
So
for real, keeping it real for real.
Yes, sir.
You in a prime location just off the interstate here in Osage.
Yes, but see, we're fighting right now because Granville has illegally zoned some of Osage. That's why they got the Granville Fire Department in Osage.
Right.
You see, so they're trying to take this and say, "Oh, that's what we're going through a fight." But we're trying to open up other businesses.
I heard about that stuff with Osage.
Yes.
Really, Osage should be getting the revenue from University Town Center.
Yes, sir.
And we're on the record saying this, and we haven't said it before.
That's right.
Yeah. I talked to your pops about it.
Yeah. And I'm sure he would love to do an interview and get it more known because he know the history of it. Where to me, he just passed the paperwork to me, and I'm just starting to file the paperwork to the commission and to Charleston, to get it started. To make sure we keep this right here as a town. We don't even care if it stay unincorporated.
Right.
As long as it's Osage.
Now you guys, Osage has to use Granville's police department, right? Is it Granville?
No, we got our own police department down here.
You got
Yeah,
okay.
Charlie is the chief of police, and I'm chief deputy. So
Yeah.
that's the police department right here in Osage.
I hear you, baby boy. I hear you, baby boy. So we got that on the record.
Yes, sir.
Because for the most part, I understood that Granville was the police department for Osage.
We allowed Granville to go to their fire department, you know what I'm saying, and out here, but they better not pull nobody over or do none of that in here, because we wait, because that's a lawsuit. That's what we want. We need that.
Now, did Osage do the street fair given the COVID-19? You know, we canceled the Juneteenth over in Fairmont that LaWanna Logan and myself with
Yeah.
West Street. They canceled the street fair.
Because it would have been this Saturday, I believe. I believe it's been this Saturday. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's been.
The Thomases do that for the most part. Patty Thomas them do, don't they?
No.
Who does that?
That's again Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
Al Anderson. What's her
Okay.
Miss Colton, Miss Nancy Cole.
And she still got her business down here. Mary Jane do, right?
Her.
Her.
She still got the apartments there. Now they
Okay,
got
she ain't got the club no more and all
No,
that.
that
She
part-
gave that up.
Well, as far as I know, it burnt down now.
You know, I got a call coming in from Fee Tate, but we're gonna finish this interview because we 31 minutes in. Okay.
We 31 minutes in?
Yeah, we're 31 minutes in. Okay.
Okay.
Now, with you, I'm gonna give you a question, and you run with it, and go what direction you want to go. Okay. I asked Danielle.